In this video, you will learn about different startup visas and different programs that will allow you to go global from all over the world. We will be focused on the UK, US, Canada, France, looking at the different startup visa programs in these countries. How can you go global as an individual, as a founder in these countries? What do you need to do? What does your startup need to look like? It's an informative session of the eMigr8 platform. On the eMigr8 platform, we focus on tech talent visas. We focus on pathways of going global and becoming globally attractive talents. That's what we focus on this platform. If you're an absolute beginner or you don't yet have a startup, this is still a fantastic session for you because we'll be sharing from wealth of our knowledge, different things that you can do even from get-go to optimize your journey. If you're ready in the startup space, you have a startup that is globally attractive, you have a startup that has significant traction, this session would also be absolutely useful for you, particularly if you've been looking at options of taking your startup global and, believe it or not, your startup becoming your visa and maybe even your ticket to global opportunities. It's another edition of eMigr8 Open Day, and you're welcome to this session. Drop in the chat, or if you're watching the replay video, drop in the comments where you're watching from, where you're joining us from. We would like to know. Introduce yourself. You never can tell. Maybe your co-founder, your collaborators, your partners may be in the room as well. Today's session, we will talk about different routes for different countries, using them as a framework, however, to understand what the landscape looks like generally. If you are a tech talent, if you are a startup founder, or you're an aspiring founder, understand what the landscape looks like. We'll use a couple of countries just to give you an insight into the landscape, but it will be a conversation around you going global, your startup going global, and you as the founder going global with your startup. You're welcome to today's edition of eMigr8 Open Day. I see a couple of messages in the chat already of introductions, and that is fantastic. Please keep them coming. We hope that you get a lot of value from the information we're sharing, a lot of value from the inspiration that we are delivering, a lot of value from the education, but we also hope that you take advantage of the community, take advantage of this platform, and this platform could help your journey. Not could help your journey, I correct myself. This platform will help your journey. Could you let me know if you can see my screen? Also, let me know if you can hear me clearly. I'd like to know in the chat. Thank you. And as I said earlier, do let your network know that the session has started. eMigr8 is your tech-enabled platform for talent mobility, relocation, and settlement. Today's session, we are focused on going global as a founder, and we will focus on finding the right visa for you and your startup in the UK, US, Canada, and France. But that is just a microcosm. It's a way of just looking at the landscape, because what we will be teaching you today is a framework for you to look at. So if there's any other country that you're interested in, you can take a look at what their policy looks like. What are they doing to want to attract talents? In terms of the session, it's a minimum of 1 hour, 30 minutes. In terms of the information we'll be sharing. And if you wait till the end of today's session, we do have a gift for you. It's absolutely valuable in terms of the gift. And so it's in your best interest to actually stay tuned to the very end of the session. We are not able to share our slides. And so please take a screenshot, pay attention, and ensure that you get the very best out of the session today. We will start by just introducing the eMigr8 platform to you, explaining the different resources that are available on the platform, what you can find, what you can get, what can be helpful to your journey, what can be helpful to you as a founder, to you as a talent, to you as a tech worker, to you as individuals in the technology space. We will start with a bit of that introduction, and then we will go into the course of today, which is around startup visas, looking at the UK, US, Canada, France. And then right after that, we will then pause for questions. We do have a number of questions from the community that we will be dealing with, but we hope that you as the audience, you would also have a lot of questions. As those questions come to mind, drop them in the chat. We won't have the time to call you upstage for you to ask your question live today. And so as soon as you have a question, drop them in the chat. And if you are watching the replay video, what you can do is just drop the question in the comments on whatever platform you're watching these on. The community managers will ensure that they get the answer to your questions to you as quickly as possible by contacting the different coaches on the eMigr8 platform and ensuring that they can signpost you to the correct resources. We would also talk about a few of the different packages and services on the platform that could be of help. If you haven't done so already, the first place to start is to download the eMigr8 Tech Visa app, register, get a profile, because that is the AI for talent mobility, relocation, and settlement. It's an holistic platform that gives you a combination of human coaches, AI assistant, different interfaces from the web to the Google Play Store to the Apple Store, and different ways in which everything that you need as regards a journey from absolute beginner to the point where you're looking to get endorsed for some of these visa opportunity, to the point where you are relocating, to the point where you are applying successfully for the visa, to the point when you're relocating and integrating into these new economies, to the point of settlement and looking to even become citizens of these countries, maybe permanent resident or citizens of the country. All of these is actually managed for you in an holistic platform, which is the eMigr8 Tech Visa platform. Reverse migration is also something we're working on very, very seriously at this point of our journey of building the platform. We've done a lot over the few months that we've been around as the eMigr8 platform. And so you will find a lot of helpful, useful resources as regards the platform on different on the platform. You will find resources around different visas, the UK Global Talent Visa, the Australia National Innovation Visa, used to be called the Australian Global Talent Visa, the Canada Startup Visa, the US O1 Visa. Name it, if it's a tech visa, it is likely that we've covered it extensively on the eMigr8 platform. And so this is the platform to be. And many of these replay videos are available to you at no cost to you. These are coaches, many of them who have taken the journeys before, some of them who are successes that eMigr8 actually worked with and successfully helped them to move into their new state, into a switch visas and so on. And they've shared their experiences, they've shared their journey in a way where it will be helpful for you if you are taking the same journey as well. All of these in one place. And just in case you're wondering, because for this edition of eMigr8 Open Day, we did a test. And so in case you saw some other themes like the 2025 Startup Visa Guide for Founders, this is the session, or the Startup Visa requirements every founder should know, this is the session. We did a test and we eventually went with the Going Global as a founder as the best theme, or we believe, for today's event. If you have a question, you can drop them in the chat. You can drop them in the comment. If you haven't done so already, eMigr8 Tech Visa app is where you want to start. Download the app. Over 80% of what's available there, it's actually available to you free of charge at no cost to you. So that's the place you want to start. We also have the Settle in the UK as a talent. This is one of the 5 routes that we support at the moment on the platform on the eMigr8 Tech Visa platform. The Settle in the UK as a talent is available to you if you're an absolute beginner in the field of technology, or if you're already an expert in the field, this route is fantastic for you. If you already have some experience in tech, if you already have some startup experience, this is even a better route for you because your pathway may even be shorter. This route allows you to move with your spouse and dependents into the UK, and it's available for you to switch visas, and also available if you're looking for a pathway to settlement. This route requires time. You need a minimum of 3 to 6 months minimum if you are looking at this route, and you would also need some sort of investment budget if you're looking at this route. If you're interested in this, you may want to take a look at the eMigr8 Tech Visa platform, or you can send a WhatsApp message or Telegram message to any one of the numbers on the screen, or send a message to any one of the support numbers from the eMigr8, and they will signpost you to where you'll find more information. If you already have the app, you're looking for video 1K under the indication of interest resources, and you will find a lot of details about that particular route, which is the campaign we still have open. And this is a campaign that is still very viable despite the recent changes in immigration rules in the UK recently. This is a pathway that allows you to become a globally attractive talent if you are not already. And then based on that, you are able to apply successfully for the different visa category that we support and curated under this particular eMigr8 route. We have a number of other eMigr8 open days coming up soon. We have open days focused on the Innovator Founder Visa. We have open days focused on the Tech Nation Visa, which is the UK Global Talent Visa for the field of digital technology. We have open days coming up as regards the US route, move to the US as a global talent, looking at the likes of the US O1 visa, looking at the likes of the US EB1 visa, and quite enough, and EB2 NIW visas available to you. Canada startup visa, and a number of open days around French tech visa and other routes as well. eMigr8 is that one platform that brings all of these information, all of these coaching, all of these AI agents, and everything together in one place to help you become globally attractive. So therefore you have options. But let me start from the beginning, because one of the questions may be, what is eMigr8? What we say, and for us on the eMigr8 platform, what we do is we help you become globally attractive talents. That's the key thing that we are focused on the eMigr8 platform. However, because you're a globally attractive talent, you naturally qualify for a number of different visa opportunities from everywhere in the world. Why is this so? It's because many of the forward-thinking countries of the world have understood that the war for talent is something they must take very seriously. They are interested in making sure that the right talents, the high-value contributors, the ones that are able to make significant changes, significant impact, bring high value to their economy, they want those ones to move to their jurisdiction. They've calculated it. They realize that when these people move, they will move with their innovation. They will move with their ideas. They will move with their high income, which leads to high taxes. They would move with creating new jobs. So even if they are not creating new companies, because they are senior in their field, there will be many supporting roles of roles and jobs that will be created because that person exists in their ecosystem, because that person's skill exists in their ecosystem. And so they realize that, oh yes, let them come with their dependents, let them come with their family, Let them come with all of that because net, this individual is a value contributor. And I'm talking about you. I'm not talking about someone else. I'm talking about you. Because even if you are not yet globally attractive, even if you are not yet a high value talent that these countries are looking for, you can become one within the shortest possible time. And that's the journey that we take you on the eMigr8 platform. That's the journey that we believe that every one of us should be on. Because if you are globally attractive, you have options. You have options of working in your local ecosystem and living in your local ecosystem. You have options of living in your local ecosystem and working remotely for global organization, earning foreign exchange. You have options of moving to different destination countries from all over the world for whatever reason. It could be for family, it could be because of the children, it could be because of healthcare, it could be because of just quality of life, whatever it is. And so you get to choose. And definitely you are able to then achieve the very best of your potential. This is what we focus on the eMigr8 platform. So forgive me, I know many of us came into the room because you are interested in one visa opportunity or the other. We will talk about the visas. The visas are there, but the visas are there for you only if you are globally attractive. And so we believe that if we aim at you being globally attractive, you naturally qualify and you'll be able to apply successfully for many of these visa opportunities. That's what we focus on the eMigr8 platform, helping individuals become globally attractive talents. And when we say globally attractive, there are two ways of looking at it. It could be your tech profile, you as an individual, the skills, the experience, the exposure that you have. But it could also be you as the founder or a senior executive of a startup, of a tech-enabled business. And that's what we are focusing on during today's edition of eMigr8 Open Day. Today's edition of eMigr8 Open Day, we will focus on startup founders, small business founders, high net worth individuals, potential investors who are able to move because of the startup that they are promoting or because of the businesses that they are promoting. Because many of these countries that I mentioned, they have different startup visa programs. Some of them designed to bring in the innovative companies, the ones that are doing new things, whether at the idea stage or at a well-structured stage. And many of them also are ways of even bringing companies that are not necessarily termed as innovative, but because those companies, if they continue to grow, will create jobs, then they want you to move to their jurisdiction. And that's what we do on the eMigr8 platform. But practically, what do our services cover? It covers things like information session, like this one we are on today. It covers things like general inquiry and holding. It covers assessment to say, do I already qualify for these visas? And many of these are free. It covers self-directed roadmap to say, oh, even if I'm not qualified yet, how do I qualify over a period of time? It covers you being held over a period of time towards being globally attractive, building the right profile, and then also qualifying for these opportunities. For example, if you're on the journey of the UK Global Talent Visa, we're able to help from the initial assessment to reviewing your application to say, I put something together, I'm doing it myself, I put something together, do I already qualify? To the endorsement review process to say, oh, I've applied and I was rejected. What has happened there? Is there something you can do to help? Right. Because many people actually get rejected, not because they don't qualify, but because they did not put their very best foot forward. And in some cases, a simple review before submitting could have helped them avoid that initial disappointment. We know this for a fact because we've helped many people on the platform who initially got rejected. They took some step back. got a bit of coaching, got a bit of direction, got a bit of help, put in a second application with all of those corrections that we did on the platform, and then they got successful. We have over 50 success cases on the platform at a very short time that we've started this platform, and now we're looking at scaling the platform. It gets better because over 80% of what we do on this platform is free. Yes, you heard it right. Free. And we are still a very viable business. The reason why it's free is because we run a freemium model. We do a lot for free, but then we do charge a premium for some of the options that we do have available on the eMigr8 platform. And we are launching our subscription model where you can actually subscribe as low as £25 a month to get additional benefits, and many of the premium options on the platform, you are able to start getting those benefits as well. On the free side, start with the eMigr8 Tech Visa app. If you haven't downloaded that, do download that. And we have a number of incentives to help you continue to use that app. We're building more gamification. We're fine-tuning the AI to be better. So you have an AI assistant helping your talent mobility, relocation, and settlement journey, and so on. Under the free side, we've got our information inspiration. We've got our monthly open days. We've got a number of introductory videos. We've got a number of visa-specific office hours. We have a number of do-it-yourself templates for different visa categories and visa routes and visa options. And we have some short coaching sessions that are free to you. I need to mention that the short coaching sessions, we are only able to accommodate one free short coaching session per individual at no cost to you. We advise that before you book that short coaching session, what you should do initially is use a number of the different options and opportunities that are available free, particularly if you are doing it yourself. When you've used all of those, you would have questions because there's a lot of information out there. And part of the problem we are solving is that you could have thousands and thousands of hours of information, videos, everything available to you, but then you just need 1 minute out of that thousand of hours. How do you find the one that you need? That's why we exist as a platform. Many of that free. But then on the premium side, we do have the eMigr8 Circle subscription. We have the premium community, the premium platform. We have personalized coaching sessions, strategic coaching sessions that you can use, and so on. In terms of our model, there are 4 key ways in which you can choose to work with us. You can choose to work with us using the free offerings. As I explained, most of what we have on the platform, free, over 80%. Or you can decide that I want to do it myself, do it yourself, but then you want a little bit of support. So you're looking for additional personalized coaching. You're looking for some of the premium AI agents that we've built to save you a lot of time, right? You're looking for things like the short coaching sessions that will save you, point you in the right direction, point you to the right visa rules, point you to the right information that would help your journey. You could say, I want the do it with me packages. The do it with me packages would then be like someone handholding you, one of the eMigr8 coaches, handholding you using the strategic coaching sessions and the short coaching session to get you to where it is that you want to get to, being qualified, being endorsed successfully, and applying successfully, relocating successfully, settling successfully in your target economy, and maybe even reverse migration in the future. Or you could say, I want the do it for me packages. The do it for me packages does not mean I will not do anything at all. Ultimately, it's still your profile, your business, you as an individual that we are working with. What the do it for me package does is that it will bring logistic end-to-end implementation, technical writing, business analysis, and anything else that you need to help you become globally attractive to qualify, bring it together in one package. If you need to have third-party integration or third-party partners coming on board as part of this, we will, and this differs and are customized for each one of the different visa options. And so practically, we have packages like for the United Kingdom, we have packages like the move to the UK as a global talent. We've got packages for move to the UK as an innovator founder, move to the US as a global talent, move to Canada as a startup founder, move in a particular year, 2025, for example, and we are targeting multiple different visas at the same time. In this case, and depending on the individual circumstance, will determine the ones that would end up with. And a similar one is our settle in the UK as a talent, settle in the UK package. And the settle in the UK package is for the UK, where we target 3 visas at the same time with an eMigr8 triple guarantee of landing at least one of them over a period of time. So we're talking UK Global Talent, UK Innovator Founder Visa, UK Skilled Worker Visa in the right occupation code. We also have the UK self-sponsorship route, for example, which are all available on the eMigr8 platform. And so where you want to start, as I said earlier, is the eMigr8 Tech Visa app. We also have a vibrant community on multiple social media channels. We have a vibrant community on WhatsApp, Telegram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and also YouTube. You can join that. On the app, it's your entire journey. It's your personal guide towards the entire journey of talent mobility, relocation, and settlement. We are not feature complete. We have a very solid MVP at the moment, and we continue to build and release more features over a period of time. It gets better because if you use the eMigr8 platform for 7 days in a row, we will be offering you an incentive. And that incentive is that you get an extra short coaching session unlocked in your platform at no extra cost. And so with the platform, if you use it regularly, it would help your journey. And at the same time, you start unlocking additional gifts and benefit for yourself and also for your family and friends. Because if you do refer people to the platform, you get £35 in your account in the platform, and they get an extra £35 in their account in the platform as well, as long as they've unlocked that particular benefit on the platform. We've also built solid AI assistants, and also we're launching additional AI agents to help different aspects of the journey, from assessment to application to compilation of documents to review of your profile. All of that are on this one platform. And so it's AI-powered precision. We have AI guides that is able to help you, and it's personalized for you. And so we're able to scale now because of generative AI that we're able to use to personalize our offering for each and every individual using the platform. And this is your assistant for your ability and your journey towards scale. We also bring a solid ecosystem of partners from different parts of the journey. From if you are on the preparation stage, you are still starting, or you're already building a roadmap, and so you now are building a roadmap towards being globally attractive, to the point when you qualify for the visa, to the point where you are navigating the application process, to the point where you actually apply and then get endorsed successfully for the visas, or you get employed if you're looking at a work-related visa, to the relocation journey, to say you're moving to a new economy. And so there are many things you need to know when you move to a new economy. The platform helps with that. To integration, to say what do you need to do to be well integrated in this new economy, and also to settlement, which will be permanent residency or citizenship and so on. Everything needed in that journey, we have this one platform helping you. But in addition to that, we also then bring a solid ecosystem of partners that can help you at the different stages. So you're at the preparation stage, if you're looking for training, you're looking for incubator program, if you're building a startup or a pre-incubator, we bring a solid ecosystem that is able to help you there. If you're looking for financing, proof of funds, things like that, we bring a solid ecosystem. eMigr8 does not offer immigration advice nor legal advice. However, if you're looking for lawyers or if you're looking for an immigration consultant because of your own unique journey, we're able to bring a solid ecosystem of trusted partners in there. Or you're trying to land a role that will offer you work sponsorship, we're able to bring HR recruiters, executive search, and so on that will be able to help you. And we are now working even around policy making using the platform. Some of our coaches are now on policy making committees, helping nations formulate policies for talents to move to their jurisdiction. And so this is the platform that you're on today. We'll talk briefly about one of our partners, Bincom Dev Center, which is actually the incubator that incubated the eMigr8 idea. And eMigr8 is now spinning out as its own company. We're really excited about that. But Bincom Dev Center incubated eMigr8, and Bincom Dev Center offers a technology training and talent development program called the Bincom Global Tech Program. The Bincom Global Tech Program allows you to learn skills, gain experience, and gain exposure in the field of digital technology. And so different skills from the business side of tech, project management, service management, product management, and the likes, and even the technical side of tech, software development, infrastructure and DevOps, name it, it's probably available on the platform. If you're an absolute beginner, you have options of starting from that stage, or if you're at intermediate level, you can start from a second stage of the program, because the full program is 1 to 2 years, but then you can start at a different stage. So within a 3 months, you can go from one stage to the next using these program. And this kind of program is a pathway towards landing tech visas at intermediate level and advanced level. There's not much in terms of visas available at beginner level, although I'll talk about some beginner level visa shortly, right? So there are a few, but not many. But by the time you start getting to the intermediate and advanced level, there are quite a number of different visa opportunities available to you. If you are a mentor, if you are highly advanced, you have many, many years of experience in your journey, we are inviting you on the Bincom mentoring platform, inviting you to mentor and give back. You will note that this is actually one of the ways to show yourself as being globally attractive. How many people have you impacted? How big is your blast radius? How big is your impact? Have you attained national or international recognition for some of the things that you've done in your career? These are some of the things that they look at. And this is one of the stepping stones to getting there. Mentoring on a structured platform. And that's what the Bincom mentoring platform offers you. If you are looking at starting the journey as a startup founder, this is a place where you can start. Labs by Bincom. Labs by Bincom will help you build product-led digital technology with a team. One of the key things is that product-led digital technology must have real-life customers, real-life users to be using that product within a 3 to 6 months period, which is what the program will do for you. Bringing about 3 to 10 people together, all of you with the same interest, all of you with different skills to bat a new product-led solution that will solve a problem. And then based on that, you have practical learnings, you have opportunity to add to your portfolio, particularly if you're working in services or you don't have the opportunity to be from a product perspective, you have that opportunity, and wish to say you're not building the next Facebook. This is what the opportunity of the Labs by Bincom, and we've seen some amazing solutions come out of the Labs by Bincom and spun out to much more, some of them landing the likes of the UK Innovator Founder visa. So we are excited with some of the things that we've been able to do with the Bincom Labs by Bincom initiative. And this can also serve as a portfolio for you. If you're looking to have a portfolio in the tech industry, this could be useful. A new cohort is starting soon. So if you're interested, bincom.net/labs is where you want to go to. The last one is the Tech Career Coaching Service, which will help you land your next role faster. And they do that using tech employment and recruitment services around individual, helping you build a relevant experience. This is available in the UK at the moment. We are working really hard to bring it to bring it to Canada and also to Germany, where you're able to land jobs that come with work visa sponsorship. You do that with also connection with technical recruiters, help you with the entire journey towards landing the role that you're looking at. You can look at bincom.net/tech career coaching. And this is the slide where you want to take a screenshot of if you haven't already. because this gives you an idea of the lay of the land, the landscape. And that landscape is what we will be talking about today, because we will focus on the startup related visas during today's session. We'll focus on how you can, and some of the tips that we feel like you should know if you're a startup founder or you're an aspiring startup founder. That will be our focus today. But it's important that you understand what we are talking about when we say tech talent visas, because you could get visas based on the fact that you are a startup, or you own a startup, or you're a senior executive in a startup, or you're an employee in a startup. You could also get a visa because of your talent, your recognition of some of the things that you have already done. Or in some countries like the UK, you could also just be promising, not that you're already a leading talent, but you're just a promising person that can potentially become a leading talent in the future. You could get a visa because of that, with the exceptional promise visa, for example, and that's talent-based visas. And then we've got the work and employment-based visas, where when you land a job, or you land a job that would offer you work visa sponsorship, you are able to use that to move and move with your family. And there are several different countries that have different variation, each country having their different rules. But ultimately, the one common denominator is something I will talk about in a moment. And then we have digital nomad or some temporary visas. For example, Germany allows you to move on a job seeker visa, and you can get that from many home countries, where over 6 months to 1 year, 6 months really, you are able to move. And then on a temporary visa, we've talked about the likes of Malta. We've talked about some digital nomad visas that you could use to say, if you are not able to move directly to your main destination country, you can find an intermediate country so that you've started your journey. And then you can then move a second time to where it is you want to move to eventually. And we have some hybrid visa options as well, like the UK self-sponsorship visa, and there's the French tech visa for investors. And so it's quite a number of those options available that you should know about. So take a screenshot if you don't have this already. The lowest common denominator across all these options is that be globally attractive. If you are globally attractive, you have options. If you are globally attractive, if your profile match, you would notice that you qualify across different tiers and across different countries. And so you get to choose. You get to choose where you move to. How does that sound to you? And that's what will help you become on this platform. Our current focus are visa options that allow a pathway to settlement. It may be a direct pathway to settlement or an indirect pathway to settlement. We focus on options that allow you to move with your family. If you're single, that's fine. But if you've got a family, particular and dependent children, mostly under the age of 18, you are able to move with them. And then we focus on pathways where a beginner can plan to say, no, I may not qualify today, but I can qualify in the future. And that entire journey from today to the future, that future may be in 3 months, that future may be in 6 months, that future may be longer, but you can plan a journey towards qualifying. And that's part of what we help you be and do on the eMigr8 platform. We'll focus on tech-enabled opportunities for now on the platform. We're working really hard to expand beyond the field of technology, but that will be a number of months away. And so today we focus on tech-enabled route, and we discuss in depth in various open days about these different opportunities. The eMigr8 Tech Visa Landscape is a document that's been put together by the team, looking at the different visas, some of the ones I showed you and some that are not even listed on that landscape, and helping you to drill down to say, what are these different countries? What are the qualification criteria? What's the roadmap to qualifying? What are the costs? What's the hidden cost and obvious cost? What are the pathway to settlement, direct pathway, indirect pathway? Everything was done, researched in one single place, and we've made it available for you on the platform at no cost to you. And so that may be a good place for you to start your journey. If you feel like I don't yet qualify, what you should do is have a personalized roadmap for yourself. That personalized roadmap will say where you are today and where you want to be, and then it will have some sort of pathway towards you getting there. The app will allow you to do that. And this is part of what we built into the eMigr8 app, helping you generate that roadmap. There's an AI assistant that can help you generate the roadmap for many of the visa opportunities we support. But then you can speak with the eMigr8 coaches who are able to validate that, who are able to validate the journey with you as part of this. Plan, have that roadmap for yourself. If you're doing it yourself, you can build the roadmap yourself, look at the requirement and compare it with where you are today and build that roadmap for yourself to say, how can I qualify within the shortest possible time? Once you do that, then you can now work meticulously, day by day, hour by hour, towards that goal you set for yourself, using the roadmap that you built for yourself. And that's what we help you do on the eMigr8 platform. As a newbie, to beginner, to intermediate, to expert, as you continue that journey, the eMigr8 platform is there to support you. And so we'll take a short break at this point. And here's the question I'll ask while we take a break. What countries or visas are you most interested in? What country or visa are you most interested in? Could you drop that in the comments or drop that in the chat at the moment? What country, what visa are you most interested in? Which ones are you familiar with? Which one is new to you? Let's know in the chat, and we'll be right back as we take a short break. We are back. Thank you. And I see some comments. I see your comments as regards the different countries that you are interested in. Thank you for sharing the comments. Thank you for those also connecting from directly on YouTube. Thank you. And we're back. And so we are now in the section of today's session where we will be talking to going global as a founder, talking about different pathways in different countries. Don't forget, as we said, if you wait till the end of today's session, we do have a gift for you, and we will share the gift much later in today's session. And so the starting point is that let's understand, and these are three parts of what I will be talking about during this section, which is let's talk about some of the visas and some of their requirements. Let's talk about some of the common things that you should be doing as a startup founder if you're looking at some of these visa opportunities, and then some tips if you're looking at specific ones of these different visa opportunities. And so, as we showed earlier, different countries of the world have different visa opportunities available for startup founders. We're deliberately not focused on investment-based founders, investment-based visas today, which is that if you have 800,000 pounds, if you have 500,000 pounds, and so on, you are typically able to, or in the case of the US, if you have $5 million, you are typically able to buy, in quote, a visa for yourself, investment-based visas. We talk about that on the eMigr8 platform, but that's not what we are focused on today. What we are focused on today is, as a startup founder, I'm just starting a startup from scratch. I've not even raised my first check. And there are visas that I can look at to help me move my startup. What about as a startup founder that has already started building traction? You already have thousands of users, hundreds of thousands of users using your platform. You're already generating revenue. Are there options available to you? What about startups that are well integrated, running B2B strategies and well integrated into some market leaders within their jurisdiction? And you're looking at, can we now start expanding to different jurisdictions, expanding our technology, expanding our innovation, expanding our client base? Are there visa opportunities available? And the answer to all of those questions is yes. There are opportunities and visas available for you. And those visas allow you to move as the startup founder, and in some cases, move with your IP to new jurisdiction. In some cases, you can move and keep your home country registration for your startup, and then you are creating a subsidiary in your destination country. And in some cases, you can decide to move fully. In some cases, people have even been known to switch the headquarters to say, we're moving the headquarters to the destination country, and then our own country version of this same solution or this same company will become a subsidiary. All of that is possible to you because you are globally attractive. In the UK, they have the UK Innovator Founder Visa. It used to be called the UK Startup Visa and also the UK Innovator Visa. But in April 2023, the UK government's Home Office decided to merge the two visa opportunities together into a new visa called the UK Innovator Founder Visa. And so to avoid confusion, I'm guessing, is the reason why they chose a new name, Innovator Founder, rather than just continue calling it UK Startup Visa. With the UK Innovator Founder Visa, it's a direct pathway to settlement. What that means is that within a 3 to 5 year period, you are able to qualify for what is known as indefinite leave to remain in the UK. With the UK Innovator Founder Visa, your idea, your startup could be new as long as it is new to the UK. They will assess your idea, your startup, based on 3 key criteria. It has to be innovative, it has to be viable, it has to be scalable. At the moment, there are 4 endorsing bodies there are 4 endorsing bodies for these particular visa category. And for all of the endorsing body, the general idea is that you would approach the endorsing body with your business plan, with your idea. And also there's a new requirement that says that you must be a genuine founder. They don't want you coming because your other visa is running out. And so all of a sudden you just decided that, oh, this is the next route I want to take. They've seen a high level of abuse along those lines. And so they are really careful and they want to make sure that you are a genuine founder looking to bring genuine innovation to the UK in this context. And it's similar for many other countries as well. But the UK, because they've seen past abuse, based on that, they have that requirement for them to check, are you really a genuine founder or you're just doing this because your visa is running out? So it's something for you to be aware of. 3 criteria, as I said, it needs to be innovative, it needs to be viable, it needs to be scalable. But interestingly, with the Innovator Founder Visa, your idea can be absolutely new. It can be that you have not even started building it at all. You could even not have written a line of code, hypothetically. However, you have to then figure out how would you prove viability. How would you prove that this is actual innovation that people are interested in using? You would have had to do market surveys. You would have had to show that, oh, there's a active market here. And you have to show that this is not something that is going to cannibalize an existing business in the UK, for example. So it's important to them that this is a new idea. But having said that, please bear in mind that Facebook was not the first social media. What Facebook did was that they created something called the news feed, and that actually helped them to blow into a certain stage where they grew astronomically and grew really fast. Why I'm saying that is because when I say innovation, it doesn't have to be that, oh, it's just this out of this world idea. If you've seen a problem that hasn't been solved in your own experience, those are the kinds of things where you can decide that I want to solve this problem. And you solving that problem can become your visa, maybe even your ticket to move from where you are to where you want to be. And so that's a quick overview of the UK Innovator Founder Visa. I'll talk about the Canada Startup Visa as a contrast to the UK Innovator Founder Visa. Because with the Canada Startup Visa, your company has to already have significant traction. The reason that visa exists is that you're then saying that we are doing well in our home economy. We are paying customers. We are actively growing. We're growing fast. This is also an innovative idea. There's a proof of innovation needed there too. But we've done it well in our own country. We now want to expand to a new country. And so you need to show your traction, you need to show your numbers, you need to show number of users, you need to show that people are actually using it. They are paying customers, they are using your products. And with that, you are then able to approach the endorsing body. I'll call them that. That's not the actual name called. You can check it online. You approach the endorsing body, and this can be accredited, designated investors. It can be some of the incubators and accelerators and all of that. You approach them with that idea, with that startup, with the evidence of what you've done so far, and your plan for why Canada, why you want to move this platform, this solution to Canada at this time. And what you will then do with that is that you are able to then use that to apply. They will do some level of assessment. They would assess your business plan. They will assess your startup. They will assess you as the founders. They will assess all of that and then take a decision at that point whether or not to endorse you. Last year, Canada reduced how many endorsements that the different endorsing bodies can actually endorse. So reduced to just about 12 per endorsing body, just to mention. But with the Canada Startup Visa, you can move with up to 5 founders and their families. You can move with up to 5 founders and their family with the Canada Startup Visa. And it's a direct pathway to permanent residency. And so if you are building a startup or you are interested in building a startup, this may be a good time to actually start and build that startup and make sure that that startup grows and grows well, because you could use that startup to move yourself. And also, as your startup continues to grow, you can use the likes of the Canada Startup Visa to scale to other jurisdictions. With the UK Innovator Founder Visa, we typically advise that only one founder should apply at once. Just to mention that you can apply with multiple founders as well with the UK Innovator Founder Visa. The only thing is that with the UK Innovator Founder Visa, every one of the founders will be assessed separately. So they want to know that, are you as the founder, are you absolutely essential to this startup? Do your skills match? And I'm now getting into the next, and hopefully there will be a lot of questions, and then we'll use the question to mop up in places where I didn't talk about as well. They want to know that your skill, is it essential to this startup? What are you bringing to the table? What kinds of transferable skills do you already have as regards this particular startup that you're building? Are you the domain experts, knowing a lot about the domain where the startup is working? Are you the technical person, knowing a lot about technology and building and so on? Are you the commercial person, helping to sell the business side of the startup and so on? There's a French tech visa. And with the French tech visa, there are actually three of them. There's one for employees of startups, there's one for the startup founders themselves, and there's one for investors. The French tech visa. We'll focus on the one for startup for a moment. Just to mention that for every one of these opportunities that I'm talking about today, we have a lot of different resources drilling down into that specific pathway. And so if you go on the eMigr8 Tech Visa app, and all of these free, you're able to find video resources, some templates, and so on for many of these different routes. With the UK innovator founder, from the French tech visa to the US route, to the Canada startup visa, and several other routes as well. We have a lot of detailed information. Typically, we have open days where we drill down into that specific route. Today's open day, we are looking generally at the landscape rather than trying to drill down into any one of these visa category by themselves. But just to mention that if you're looking for those kinds of information, that is available on the platform, and you just need to go check the platform under content, under resources, and so on. You will find a lot of details there. Why it brought me to that at the moment was just to say that with the French tech visa, very recently, we spoke with one of the founders on the platform who moved to France using the French tech visa. With the French tech visa, you want to get your startup into one of the designated accelerators or incubators. They have names as well in the French tech visa context, but I'm using the general name at this point. If your startup is endorsed in any one of those accelerators that the French government recognize and they are endorsing body, you are then able to use that endorsement to apply for your visa and then use that visa to move successfully to France. There are similar options across the world, but I think the key point we want to share with you is that many countries of the world are looking to poach startups that you've built to come to their jurisdiction. Many countries of the world are interested in seeing you continue to thrive in their jurisdiction. They are not doing you a favor. They are selfish. They understand that it is their country first. So mention the name and then put first behind it. That is what everybody is pushing. Because although, yes, you can be thinking about competition at the individual level, countries are also competing with each other. At least we're happy about those positive competition rather than wars and all. Right. So countries are competing for talent. They're competing for you as the founder to say, please come to our jurisdiction, come and build in our jurisdiction. They want you. And if there's anything I can help with today that I want to help everyone and open everyone's eyes to, because it took me a while to see this, is that you may discount yourself as, no, what I've done is not so much. But the truth is, many countries of the world are interested because they understand that maybe with a little bit of push, maybe with a little bit of more information, a little bit of support, a little bit of investment, a little bit of everything else, maybe that will become the next big thing. And so the countries of the world are actually interested in getting you to go set up in their country for you to just try. I need to mention something though, to say that for many of the visa options that I've talked about from a startup perspective, these countries are happy for you to come try in their jurisdiction. They understand that 1 out of every 10 startups will be successful in the long run. 9 out of every 10 startups will fail. And this is a proven statistic globally. And so similar to how investors will invest in all 10, knowing that there will be one outlier success, is the same thing many of these countries are doing with their visa policies. And the same thing that many of these countries are doing with the startup-based visas. What I'm saying is that should your startup be unsuccessful, you may need to go back to your own country or switch visas. However, there are many different buffers available. So I'll use the example of the UK Innovator Founder Visa. With the UK Innovator Founder Visa, you're able to apply for 3 years. And if your startup meets specific conditions, then you're able to convert that to permanent residency, indefinite leave to remain. But the conditions that have been set for the indefinite leave to remain requires that your startup must be successful. So things like creating employment for 10 people that are not immigrants, creating, applying for patents, and exporting a certain amount of money, exporting a certain amount in terms of income in export, and so on. 6 requirements, choose 2. Your startup must meet 2 out of those 6. However, if you do not qualify for ILR, indefinite leave to remain, permanent residency, you could also qualify under, you could also qualify in terms of just renewing your visa. The requirement is lower. The only thing they want to know is that you've made considerable progress. So you can potentially continue renewing your innovator founder visa for the next many, many years. However, there are a couple of requirements too. Your endorsing body needs to still attest that you are continuing to work on this idea. Your endorsing body needs to attest that, oh, you are making considerable progress. It doesn't mean you are successful. It doesn't mean that you are making a lot of money. If you were that successful, then you should have just done ILR, right? At that point. But they want to know that you continue to build on the innovation, not that you came and said you wanted to build an innovation, but now what you are doing is you are importing rice, right? Then that's not an innovative startup anymore at that point. So the endorsing body will still need to check your business at that point when you want to do a new visa application to say you're renewing your innovator founder visa. So it's important that if you're doing this, you are a genuine entrepreneur, you have the grit needed for you to make sure that your startup will be successful. You are able to do the work that is needed, or at least you should have your own plans in terms of you as an individual should your startup end up not being successful. So this is important to note for many of the different startup programs available from different parts of the world. Remember what I said, they're not doing you a favor. They want you to come. They want you to come with your family. They want you to move to their jurisdiction. They want you to be comfortable. They want to provide the level playing ground and everything possible. But the truth is that if you stop being a value contributor before you get citizenship or indefinite leave to remain, then they actually don't want you that much anymore. It's a capitalist world at the end of the day at that point in time. So that's important to note in terms of some of the things to note as regards the different startup-based visas out there. With the likes of the Canada startup visa, though, you actually qualify for permanent residency on get-go. And it makes sense because at the point when you said you're moving, your startup already has traction. And what you're looking at is you're using Canada as a springboard for you to move to the next level, for you to maybe conquer the rest of North America and so on. And so this is just to give you a quick overview, and I know that my time is fast spent, of the different opportunities available for startup founders. I'm going to pause at this point for questions. I'm going to pause at this point for us to bring the conversation home. I'm going to pause at this point for us to discuss if there are specific questions, and I can signpost to the right places for those questions. Thank you. We'll pause here for just a moment again. What visa would you be interested in of the ones that we've discussed? What country would you be interested in of the ones we've discussed? And if you have questions, please drop them in the chat at this point as well. We'll pause there for just a moment again. I'll be right back shortly. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us at this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. We hope that this has been informative so far. And this is the point where we will be taking questions. We'll be taking as many questions as possible as regards the different routes that we've spoken about so far. If you have questions, as we said, please drop them in the chat. We'll take as many questions as possible. We do have some questions from the community as well that we will be taking. And we have some questions from the different eMigr8 community. We have questions that will be taken along those lines. But if you have questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll take as many of the questions as possible during this section of the eMigr8 Open Day. Good. Thank you. The first question I see here says, how much is the success rate to Canada and what's the minimum requirement to qualify? Are there success stories and where can one see them? The answer is yes, there are success stories and you can find them on the eMigr8 Tech Visa app. If you check on the eMigr8 Tech Visa app, we've done at least 2 open days as regards the Canada startup visa, where we've spoken with success stories and help you to see what they did, what kind of work they're doing in Canada. And they've even shared as well the kinds of things they're currently doing, how Canada has been a platform to help them to scale to other parts of the world. And so, yes, you can find success story on the Emigrate Tech Visa app, and you can use that. We've also spoken with one of the endorsing bodies who we've brought onto the Emigrate platform, and they've also shared about their own unique approach towards these particular routes. And so with eMigr8, we're able to support your journey to the point where you can get into the incubator program for that particular endorsing body. If you get into the incubator program of that endorsing body and your startup is able to grow within a 3 to 6 months period, you are able to get endorsed for the Canada startup visa, and you get endorsed not just one founder, but up to 5 founders can be endorsed. I need to mention, however, that last year, Canada took a decision to reduce the number of endorsement each endorsing body could endorse to just about 12 at that point in time. And so hopefully I answered that question. Um, Right. A question here is which country should you choose? Is it UK? Is it Canada? And all. Minimum requirement before I take the which country should I choose question. Minimum requirement is your startup needs to have traction. Your startup needs to be successful. That and your startup is now ready to go global. What that means for one startup may be different from another startup. Depending on the innovation that you are working with, you could have one business customer, and that can be traction for your startup. Imagine you're a fintech and you're integrated to one of the large banks in your home country. That can be significant traction. Or if you're a consumer product and you have 10,000, 20,000 customers, that's significant traction. Depending on the sector, the product, depending on too many things will determine what that means. The key thing is that your startup needs to be successful in your niche at that point in time. It has to be innovative and you're ready to go global at that point. And so when I say ready to go global, it also means that your startup is able to start showing how will we be able to continue to scale by maybe setting up a subsidiary in this new country or moving our headquarters to this new country with the senior executive in this case. Right. Somebody is asking to say which country is best. Of course, this is not immigration advice. This is not legal advice. It's not immigration advice. It's not legal advice, but you will need to take a decision for yourself based on too many things. For example, the US is more liquid. So if you are targeting like investment and things like that, you may want to think about the US. However, with the US, once you become a permanent resident or you become a citizen, then you are taxed from your global income. So you can't say you're making money in Kenya or you're making money in France or you're making money outside of the US. It's a tax globally on your global income. So you may want to think about that. The UK, for example, if you're a senior developer in the UK and you are earning 80,000 pounds or something like that, you are earning significantly high salary. Meanwhile, in the US, if you are earning double of that, sometimes they think you are even underpaid, even now with the tech winter. Right. And so it depends on too many things. But then the UK is making significant effort to become the fintech capital of the world, if not the technology capital of the world. So maybe you want to think about that. Canada, a number of times when you go to Canada, and some of our accelerator partners have talked about this as well. The market for Canada sometimes is the North America, aka the US. So you're literally using Canada as a springboard to then be able to do, because Canada, in terms of their numbers, and that's part of the reason why Donald Trump, for example, says just come and become the 51st states. I mean, what kind of disrespect is that? But that's is basically there are reasons why he could even say that in the first place. But it depends on too many things and so it's not something we can say generally to say, oh, definitely go to X or definitely go to Y. You think about your own personal circumstance as well. What about kids? How old are they? Quality of life, healthcare, right? UK healthcare is free. US, yeah, if you don't have health insurance, that is, you're one disease away, God forbid, right, from being broke, right? Although they can let you pay over a lifetime, God forbid, anyway. The point I'm making is too many things to consider where you have to then take a decision to say, this is the country I want to go to, or this is the other country I want to go to. This is the country I want to move my startup to. If you're a director of a company, you have a fiduciary responsibility to the company, right? And so you can't just be thinking about yourself, your family, although it's important you think about that. You probably also want to think about your shareholders, your investors, and all of that to say, yeah, you're taking the best decision for your startup. So a lot to unpack there. But we have coaches on the eMigr8 platform that can work with you, talk you through a number of these, show you some of the consideration, point you in the right direction. Some of these coaches have done multi-million dollar companies. Some of them are exited and all. So yeah, you can speak with them, you can share ideas, and you can also bounce ideas to say, what do you think about this? This is what I'm thinking about at this point in time. Your next question says, some of the things I said, does it apply to all countries? No. Different country have their different requirement. And that's the reason why I started with the fact that UK, your startup can just be idea. And what you want to do is build a business plan, show why it's innovative. Canada startup visa, it's on the other scale to say your startup needs to already have significant traction. UK, they let you come in easily, right? They let you switch to the visa easily, but then there's a significant barrier for you to become permanent resident because your startup now has to be successful at that point. Canada, the barrier of entry is higher because you need to have a good startup that is already having traction, but you technically get permanent residency immediately. So different countries are moving different levels, but they are moving these levels to try and attract you as the talent. What we are saying on this platform is take advantage of these opportunities that are available to you. Define innovation is another question I'm seeing there, and we're coming towards the end of today's edition of eMigr8 Open Day. Innovation, it depends on too many things for me to, it depends on too many things, but I try to share a bit around that during the session. Right. And if you go through our UK Innovator Founder session, we sort of try to unpack it a lot more on that. So that would be video 1C on the eMigr8 Tech Visa platform. We labeled a number of videos that we feel like they are like entry point resources that you should start with. Video 1C, we spent about 10-15 minutes just helping you see what could look like innovation, what you may discount, but is actually going to be recognized as innovative. So that may be a good place for you to go to and a good place for you to look at in terms of innovation. All right. Thank you for being part of today's edition of eMigr8 Open Day. We are winding down the session now. If you have questions, as we said, please drop them in the chat, or if you're watching the replay video, what you want to do is just drop a comment in the platform where you're watching this video. The community manager is monitoring, and to a large extent, they will get answers back to you as soon as possible. If you're watching the replay video, if you're here live right now while we're having this conversation, if you have some last minute questions, you can drop them and we'll be able to take them. We mentioned that we do have a gift for you if you waited till this point of today's edition of eMigr8 Open Day. And so I'm going to share what that gift looks like at this point in time. Because you're on this call till this point in time, you have won yourself an extra eMigr8 short coaching session. Just to mention that this is only one extra short coaching session per individual, so not per eMigr8 Open Day. So please don't say, oh, because I've attended several eMigr8 Open Days, that means I have several short coaching sessions. Just one of these is available. This category of short coaching session is available per individual because we need to watch the number of sessions that we give out as a platform. But you need to take an action for you to redeem this short coaching session. What you need to do is that you need to go to any one of the eMigr8 communities, and it doesn't count if you send direct messages to any one of the admin. They will redirect you to the community anyway. What you want to do is go to any of the eMigr8 communities and mention that you were part of this edition of eMigr8 Open Day till the end, and you've been told that you've won a short coaching session. The community manager of that community would have to do it manually. At the moment, we are working on automating this so that it would actually be automated, that because you've attended the open day, it would automatically reflect in your eMigr8 platform account. But it's done manually at the moment. And so the community manager of the community will take note of your profile. We use your phone number or your email address as unique identifier, phone number on the WhatsApp, Telegram platform. We would take a look at that and then they would log it into your account. You can book that short coaching session anytime within the next 3 to 6 months. So you don't have to use the session until you absolutely need it. All right. But what that means is that if you've downloaded the app and you've done some of the entry points, you get a short coaching session at no cost to you. And then because you've been part of this, you get another short coaching session at no cost to you. And so if you are doing it yourself, if you are working on this journey by yourself, you now have a little bit of extra support. Actually, a lot of extra support, because if you count the community and everything else available to you, it means that you are not working alone. It means that you have this strength of this platform, eMigr8, to help you get over the line to success that you are looking for. So congratulations to everyone that has joined the session and has been on the call till this point in time. I will also mention that there are other options in terms of, although we focused on startup-based visas today, you may want to look at other options like the UK self-sponsorship route. That's available on the eMigr8 platform, and that's something to look at. The self-sponsorship route is a route that enables you to start a company in the UK. Now, this doesn't have to be an innovative company. Just start a company. In most categories, we say avoid regulated businesses, but start a company, and that company would get the certificate of sponsorship, and that company will sponsor you as its director or as a skilled worker in the UK. That's an option that you may want to look at. With Canada as well, there are opportunities to buy businesses, and you can actually get loans to buy businesses and use that to also get access to some visas available in that regard. And so there are other options, right? What we focused on today was startup-based visas, which typically are looking at innovation. And based on the strength of your innovation, based on the strength of your idea, you get access to visa opportunities. Thank you so much for joining us at this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. We hope that this has been useful for your journey. We hope that you were able to get information that you were hoping to get during this session, but we would like to continue the conversation. We can continue the conversation on the eMigr8 community. We're on the eMigr8 community. eMigr8 community is available on 6 different social media platforms. You can join on Telegram. You can join on Twitter, you can join on WhatsApp, you can join on YouTube, you can join on LinkedIn, you can join on Facebook. We have eMigr8 community where these are groups of like-minded individuals who are also building their profile towards being globally attractive, thereby qualifying for different options of visas out there. A number of these individuals are also have gone through the platform, and some have gone through the platform and have actually become coaches on the platform, helping other people along the journey that eMigr8 platform has been able to help them take over a period of time. And so this is a community and it's also a platform. Where you want to start is the eMigr8 Tech Visa app because all of the free resources, all of the mostly our free resources are all channeled through the eMigr8 Tech Visa app at this point in time. We're using the app and the AI to help us achieve scalability to scale. Of course, if you're interested in some of our premium offering and you're saying, I'm a busy professional, I don't have the time, I would like someone to do it with me, or I would like someone to do it for me, we do have those options available on the platform as well. And so we don't just support a free or do-it-yourself community, we also support a do-it-for-me or do it with me community where for these are premium anyway, but we are able to support you more directly towards the result that you're looking to achieve on the platform. If you're a startup founder, for example, if you're not even yet a startup founder and you're looking at, I would like to build a startup and use that to be my route to moving, you can consult a coach on the eMigr8 platform and we're able to point you in the right direction of what you need to do next. And we are able to do it with you or do it for you in the sense that we can provide software developer to help you build your minimum viable product managers, marketing, and everything else that you may need for this startup to become viable and qualified for the kind of visas that we've discussed today. All of that we can work with you, work with you on the premium side. But if you're doing it yourself and you just need a little bit of support, we have the different short coaching session packages that you can buy as low as £25 a month, as I mentioned, and you can buy those packages to get the right support you need at every step of the journey. So this is the platform that does all of that for you. And if you're also looking at, oh, I'm doing it yourself and I'm not ready to make any commitment or payment, we also still have options for you with the community, with the app, with the AI assistant, all of that helping your journey. So you can figure out where you are in the free or do it yourself with a subscription, do it with me or do it for me. And then we let us know and we'll be able to direct you to the right team. We have different teams that manage each one of these tiers on the platform. So let us know where you sort of fall and then we will let you know what the next steps are for you or what the direction is for you. We usually speak to 5 key audience category on the eMigr8 platform, and I'll try a stab at just summarizing everything we've talked about today to say if you're an absolute beginner, start from step 1. Step 1 is build a roadmap for yourself, and we can help on the eMigr8 platform. If you're at the intermediate level in your journey, whether you are a professional at the intermediate level or you're a startup founder that have already started building an MVP and all of that, what we would advise is take a look at what the requirement looks like and then start plotting a journey towards you qualifying. Sometimes some things you didn't really pay attention to may now matter. For example, you may not have paid attention to public relation, PR, appearing in newspapers, appearing in industry magazines and things like that. And that can become important for some or the other of these visa opportunities. Also, intermediate level and maybe advanced level too, is that you could look at hybrid journeys. You don't necessarily have to target just one visa category. For example, although we were talking about startup-based visas, some of these startups with the level of traction we've described, you as the founder, you may actually qualify for talent-based visas like the UK Global Talent Visa, the Canada GTI, and so on. You may actually qualify as the individual founder. So that way you move from innovator founder visa to the global talent visa. We've supported many founders that did that as their way of making sure that they are able to hedge their own risk while they continue building their startup. What I mean by that is they're hedging their personal risk of having to go back to their country should their startup fail. So they moved to UK Global Talent Visa, for example, and the startup that we still are talking about is the same startup that actually helped them get there because the traction of the startup is counted towards their own profile as individual talent. And for advanced, people already qualified, ready to apply, we have a lot of resources available to support you, to support your journey. And what you want to do is let us know where you are, let us know how you need help, and we'll be able to take it forward from there, point you in the right direction. For the last category, to say you're looking to switch, you're in the country, but you don't have a path, you are not on the pathway to settlement, and you are looking for a new visa for switching. The same requirement, the exact same requirement is what it is. Your startup needs to meet those requirements for you to be able to switch. Right. And so what you want to do is that you want to start charting that same roadmap as explained a moment ago to see where you are, where you want to be. Maybe you want to hedge your risk by focusing on multiple at the same time. Maybe you want to focus on one. Maybe you want to just make sure you are close to qualifying and you want to apply successfully, or you are already qualified and what you're doing is working on an application. Whichever one you are, it's still the same requirement. Many of the countries of the world don't have a different requirement because you're in the country already, and a different requirement because you're coming from outside the country. So same requirement. What would be different is that the ecosystem may be different. The ecosystem has a lot more support in some countries than some other countries. The ecosystem in terms of context and so on. But we are able to support you as well if that's where the category you fall is. Thank you so much for joining us during this edition of eMigr8 Open Day. Has this been useful for you? Could you let us know in the chat if it has been useful? Part of the reason why we continue doing these sessions, particularly the open day sessions, which are free, is because we get feedback from people like you telling us that, yes, we've been able to add a little bit of value to your journey. And so let us know. Let us know. Let us know in the community. Give us a review. If you check eMigr8 out on Trustpilot, check eMigr8 out on the App Store, check eMigr8's app on Google Map, you will find eMigr8 there and just give a feedback. It helps our marketing as well to let people know what kind of value we are adding on this platform. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for staying with us till this time and looking forward to your ongoing success. See you in the community.